This is horrifying. I heard breathing inside the walls while staying in an Airbnb. So I'm staying at this Airbnb by myself. It's super isolated. It's like 30 minutes outside of any city. I didn't really know what to expect when I booked it because it was pretty cheap. Now, when I say holes, I don't mean like big gaping holes that you could stick your arm through. They were just small indents in the wall. I thought maybe they were just made from like age or something, so I didn't think too much of it. So I was kind of expecting maybe like a 1-star hotel or something. But it was actually pretty decent. Like I said, it was very isolated. And then I noticed that the vast majority of them were of like children. And then I noticed that the hole in the wall right above the closet was pulsing slightly. He answered on the third ring. Hello? Hey, I'm sorry to bother you, but I'm in the bedroom, and I think there might be someone in the closet. What do you mean, like someone's in there right now? Well, no, but like someone was just breathing heavily from inside of the wall. Again, there was nothing in the closet except for a few clothes that the owner had left behind. I grabbed my stuff and I ran out the front door and got in my car. I locked the doors and I started driving away as fast as I could. The whole time that I was driving, I kept looking in my rearview mirror, half expecting to see the owner of the house or whatever was making the noise chasing after me. But I never saw anything. I called the owner again, but he didn't pick up this time. I tried calling him a few more times, but it just went straight to voicemail. And I also saw that there's this hole in the wall, and it's just really freaking me out. Oh, okay, yeah, I know about the hole in the wall. That's just how the house is built. I was too scared to go back to that house and try to get the rest of my stuff. But if you don't want to hear another scary story, then click on this other video instead. Okay, bye. To this day, I still don't know what that noise was or what was going on with that house. But sometimes when I'm lying in bed at night, I swear that I can still hear that breathing coming from inside my own walls. As for the breathing, though, are you sure you weren't just imagining things? Maybe it was just some animals in the attic or something. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Do you have any like cameras or anything in the room? No, why would I have cameras in my guest room? Oh, no reason. Never mind then. Thanks for picking up. It was like almost in sync with the breathing that I was hearing. I was hoping that it was just the owner's explanation and that it was nothing more than that. But at the same time, something about his voice didn't sound right. Didn't sound like he was talking from inside of the house. I sat there on the bed in silence for a few seconds trying to listen and waiting for whatever was in the closet to come out, but it never came out. It almost sounded like he was calling from somewhere else entirely. I immediately ran to the closet and opened it and stared inside. It was completely empty. There was nothing in there whatsoever. It was a bit creepy, but I figured that the owner probably just had kids, and that's why he put up all the pictures of them. So again, I didn't think too much of it. The only other building nearby was like an old abandoned barn. But that wasn't too much of a problem for me. It was even louder than before, and it sounded like it was right next to me. I was frozen in fear. I didn't dare move because I was afraid that whatever was making the noise would come out of the wall and attack me. I'm not really the type of person to get scared easily. So as soon as I got there, I started looking around outside, and I noticed all these weird little holes in the walls. Then I went inside, and I started looking around some more, and I noticed that there were a lot of paintings and pictures hanging on the walls. I decided to go upstairs now and check out the bedroom. The room itself was fine. Nothing too noteworthy. The only thing that was kind of strange was the closet. Now at first I couldn't quite make out what they were. It sounded like someone was like tapping on the wall or something. Then I started hearing more and more noises. And eventually, I realized that it sounded like someone was breathing inside of the wall. It was the most realistic breathing sound that I've ever heard. It definitely wasn't coming from outside of the wall either, because it sounded like it was coming from directly behind the drywall. It sounded like someone was just on the other side of the wall, breathing heavily. It was a normal closet, with a door and everything. But right above the closet door was another one of those small indentations in the wall. It looked exactly like the ones that I saw downstairs. I thought maybe it was just something about the way that the house was built, and that it's why there were so many holes. But then after I got into bed and I turned off the lights, I started hearing noises. I turned my light back on and I tried to look around to see if I could figure out where the sound was coming from. I started freaking out at this point, so I grabbed my phone and I called the owner and I hung up. I still didn't know what to think. As if to confirm my suspicions, as soon as I got off the phone with him, I started hearing the breathing again. Then all of a sudden the floor beneath me started shaking, screamed, and I fell backwards onto the bed. The breathing suddenly stopped, and the floor stopped shaking. After a few minutes, I calmed down a little and I got out of bed and walked over to the closet. I opened the door again and stared inside. At this point, I was getting pretty scared, so I decided that I was done staying in the house. I ended up finding a different place to stay, and I stayed there for the rest of my trip. This is scary. If you want to hear another terrifying story, then check out this video.